The anomaly in the endless black between the stars, where sunlight fades to memory and silence stretches unbroken for billions of years, two of humanity's oldest machines drift alone. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Launched more than 4 decades ago, they continue their lonely odyssey beyond the edge of our solar system. They are the last voices of Earth, ancient messengers carrying our heartbeat into the dark. Tiny fragments of home whispering across a gulf so immense that a single message takes nearly 20 hours to return. For decades, their faint signals spoke in numbers. Steady. Predictable. Magnetic fields, cosmic rays, interstellar dust, a calm whisper of science across the cold abyss. Then, something changed. At first, it was nothing. A flicker. A hesitation in the data stream. A few corrupted packets, a rhythm that faltered, a breath where there should have been silence. The team at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory dismissed it as interference. Cosmic rays. Background static. But one scientist, Dr. Eliza Cara, didn't look away. She saw something buried deep in Voyager 1's telemetry. A reflection. Faint, yet rhythmic, like an echo returning from the dark. The pattern wasn't random. It moved. It curved. It accelerated. As though it were alive. When Voyager's plasma sensors confirmed motion, what they discovered sent a chill through the room. The object's path wasn't natural. It was adjusting. Reacting. Steering. Carlo Romero, a systems analyst, said it best. It's like watching a drone glide across an empty ocean. Completely out of place. Unmistakably controlled. And then, millions of miles away, Voyager 2 spoke. It had seen it too. Identical plasma shifts. Identical magnetic ripples. A faint structured pulse that matched Voyager 1's readings precisely. Two spacecraft, separated by unimaginable distance, detecting the same impossible phenomenon. The odds of coincidence? 0. NASA quietly raised the situation to a Level 3 alert, a classification reserved for events without precedent or explanation. It was no longer an object. It was an event. Vast. Coordinated. Deliberate. As more telemetry streamed in, the scale of the mystery took shape. There weren't 1 or 2 objects. There were 305. Each moved in perfect synchronization, maintaining flawless formation across thousands of kilometers. In space, even the smallest velocity difference would cause objects to drift apart. But these didn't drift. They stayed locked, precise, united, unwavering. No heat signatures. No ion trails. No radiation bursts. Only metallic bodies gliding silently through the void. Structured. Disciplined. Aware. Someone in mission control whispered a comparison that would haunt the room. A flock of birds in perfect flight. Except the sky is the space between stars. Then came the rhythm. A pulse that repeated in perfect mathematical intervals. Plasma waves forming harmonics, like the notes of a language no one on Earth could speak. Dr. Serena Patel leaned forward, eyes wide. "It's too perfect to be random," she said softly. "It's structured. It's deliberate. It's information." Then, the Doppler data arrived, and the rules of physics began to crumble. The objects weren't pushing against space. They were moving through it, bending the fabric of reality itself. No thrust. No heat, theoretical physicist Elena Reyes murmured. They're manipulating the medium of reality. Whatever they were, their nature or their technology was beyond anything humanity had ever imagined. And somewhere out there, in the frozen dark between the stars, something vast had begun to stir. The response, but the mystery did not stay in space. Back on Earth, amateur radio operators began reporting strange static at odd hours. Not noise, structure. Repeating pulses that aligned exactly with the times when the Voyagers reported their strongest anomalies. At first, NASA ignored it. Coincidence, they thought. Until the reports came from different continents, different instruments, different skies. And every one of them matched. The signals were leaking. Faint harmonics bleeding into Earth's electromagnetic spectrum. If true, it meant something unthinkable. The phenomenon was not only communicating, it was doing so on frequencies Earth could hear. Intelligence agencies began listening. Quietly. Not fearing aliens, but fearing who else might be listening too. Within weeks, NASA and ESA formed a joint task force. They combed through archives of every deep space probe ever launched. Pioneer 10. Pioneer 11. New Horizons. They searched for any precedent, any clue, any sign this had happened before. Nothing. The swarm was new. Or worse, it had always been there, hidden, invisible, waiting for us to notice. Then, something even stranger. Voyager 1 began to change. Its ancient systems, untouched for decades, suddenly rerouted their telemetry through dormant channels. Old memory banks came online. Power was redirected to modules long since abandoned. The spacecraft wasn't failing. It was adapting. And the timing? Perfectly aligned with one of the swarm's magnetic pulses passing directly through it. A coincidence too precise to ignore. Voyager's signal began to warp. Subtle harmonics appeared in the carrier wave. Frequencies no one could explain. It was as if Voyager had begun to speak in a new dialect, one it was never programmed to know. Meanwhile, deep in the analysis labs, another discovery changed everything. The pulses emitted by the swarm weren't just signals. They were linked. Quantum harmonics, identical to those seen in entanglement experiments. The 305 objects weren't independent. They were connected. A vast interstellar network, sharing information instantaneously across unimaginable distances. And Voyager, with its outdated analog circuits, had become the perfect ear. Its old design, immune to digital interference, was listening to a conversation that no modern machine could have heard. Then came the question that froze every voice in the room. What if these signals aren't meant for us? What if we've simply stumbled into someone else's conversation? A dialogue echoing between stars for eons? And as the swarm's formation began to subtly shift, aligning toward the Voyager's coordinates, a darker thought took hold. What if they know we're listening? What if they've already chosen to respond? Out there, beyond the heliopause, where human presence is reduced to two aging messengers drifting through eternity, something vast is moving. Watching. Reacting. 305 objects in flawless formation. A language built from plasma and silence. A propulsion that bends the geometry of the universe itself. And Voyager, changed forever, now sings in tones we cannot decode. If these are probes, the questions become unbearable. Who sent them? From where? And why now? If they are natural, then the cosmos hides laws we were never meant to see. But maybe the truth is far simpler, and infinitely more terrifying. Maybe we were never the observers at all. Maybe, in this vast ancient dialogue, we are the ones being observed. And if they have chosen to acknowledge us, if the first reply is already on its way, then the silence between stars may not last much longer. Because in the endless dark, the line between watching and being watched has finally disappeared.